What's going down? Rat 7 Dudes Van Hoose here, and in this vlog, we're coming back right after the first break of the Monster Stack. We're approaching into the second day, trying to turn $1,500 into $1 million. And of course, also chasing that coveted gold bracelet. Let's go!
We look down at the 10 of clubs and the 8 of clubs, and we open up an early position to 1,300. Blinds are currently 300, 600, 600. We have recently moved a very great recreational table to a very pro-heavy table, and we have played with some of these gentlemen before. We get called in 2 spots in late position, and the big blind goes ahead and completes their option as well. So we're gonna see a 4-way flop. The dealer puts out a flop of 6 of diamonds, jack of diamonds, 2 of spades, with a diamond flush draw. We have the 10-8 of clubs and have completely whiffed. Now, the first gentleman in late position we've played with previously, and he's very aggressive, pretty much stabs at anything that is checked to him, and he puts out a pretty small bet of 1,700. The other players in the hand fold, and we're now looking at a pot of 9,500. Now, I decide, because of knowing this player, to float even though we don't have any type of equity really in this hand. Dealer puts out the turn of the ace of spades, which is certainly in our range, and we actually have decided that we're gonna check raise small to try to win this pot down when the player in position stabs. But shockingly to us, he checks, so we see a river, which is the queen of hearts, doesn't complete a flush draw, so we're gonna continue with the thought process and make a bluff. I bet 5,300, 60% pot. He checks back, looks at his cards, puts it in the muck. Bluff works. Got him! All right, we look down at the 5 of hearts, 8 of hearts. We're in the big blind. Blinds are 500, 1,000, 1,000. Folds around to the hijack, and he min-raises, makes it 2K. We get a fold from the cutoff. Button looks at his cards. He's kind of going in the tank here, trying to find out raise, fold, call. He ends up choosing the fold. Small blind also folds. Of course, we're going to complete the 5, 8 of hearts. Great big blind hand to close the action and see a flop with. Dealer taps the table, puts out a flop, and we see the 6 of spades, 2 of hearts, and the 10 of hearts. Obviously, we love this flop, giving us a flush draw. We're gonna check to the razor. Looks down at his chips, counts out a C-bet. He chooses 1,400. Obviously, we're gonna put in the call of 1,400, and now the pot is 8,300. Dealer gives us a turn of the 9 of clubs. I check. This is gonna give us a little bit more equity now as we have a gut shot to go with our flush draw. The villain thinks for a minute. He decides to check back as well. We're gonna see a river. River is the ace of hearts. Boom! We've made a flush. Bells are going off. As you know, it's hard to make a big hand. We've made one, trying to get paid. Some people are gonna check here, but I think leading is absolutely the best decision. So we do lead. We make it 5,200. Now the action is on the villain. We of course have our poker face on. We're kind of staring at the flop, but of course our eyes are absolutely looking at our opponent, trying to get a read to see exactly what he's gonna do. And to our surprise, after shuffling some chips, it almost looks as if he's thinking about counting out a raise. Now here's the thing, it doesn't matter what the number he put in. I don't think in this situation we would ever fold, because being an aggressive pro that he is, when he checks back the turn, it's hard to give him a flush draw as well, because he's just a better. As we've seen in many of the hands we've watched him play, he's very aggressive. He doesn't end up raising, but he makes the call, and oh my god, he shows a flush as well. Are you kidding me? The jack of hearts and the 7 of hearts for a higher flush, and he scoops the pot of 18,700. We're bummed, but we could have lost a much bigger pot. On to the next hand.
Third break, Monster Stack. You saw that insane hand. We rivered the flush. Bells are going off, whistles are going off. We're trying to get paid. Make a huge pot bet on the river. He tanks, looks like he's gonna raise, ends up calling and has a higher flush. So to me, even though you lose the pot, I feel like I dodged bullets. It's like making money because I'm snap calling that raise.
Let's go. Blinds are 1,000, 1,500, 1,500. We look at the Queen of Spades and the Queen of Diamonds from UTG, and we min it to 3K. UTG1 thinks, and then he actually puts in a re-raise. He makes it 9K, and it folds around. Obviously, that is the next position, so there is some fear that he could have a bigger hand, but I mean, we have the third best hand in poker, so we're definitely interested in getting more chips in. Now, the big blind thinks about it. He is Landon Tice. A lot of you know him from the Jeremy Becker Landon Tice battle, the big bet from Matt Berkey and Daniel Negreanu. And to our surprise, when it gets to him, he jams it all in for 66. Now, we've got queens, right? But you have to look at this action. I mean, this is a puke spot based on position because we open UTG. UTG won 3 bets, and then when it gets to Landon, knowing that the first and second position have shown so much aggression, he's willing to put all his chips in. And you've got to think about the hands he could do this with. I mean, Ace King is a possibility. I mean, I still think it's a lot for Ace King to do, but people are going to do that with Ace King. Is he just going to jam with aces or kings? Some people might say no, but the fact is, there's already so much out there. What would he do with jacks here? I mean, kings for sure, sometimes aces, sometimes ace king. But to me, the best case scenario is ace king, and we're flipping for our tournament life. Granted, the pot's 80,500, which is a great upside, but I end up folding, which is crazy in some people's eyes, right? UTG1 folds as well. Some of you are gonna think insane fold. I even talked to Brock Lesnar. He said it was a fold. What do you think? We look down at Queen of Diamonds, Jack of Diamonds, a royal flush draw, and we're looking at a raise of 3K from early position, which we call. Blinds are currently 1,000, 1,500, 1,500, and we also see a call from the small blind. Big blind gets out of the way and folds. Dealer does the tap, puts out a flop. We see the Queen of Spades, 8 of Spades, and the 7 of Clubs. We've hit top pair. We don't have any flush draw, but certainly very happy with the flop. Gonna get value for our top pair. Hopefully someone has another pair or possibly a flush draw. So we bet 5,500. Small blind's gonna fold, and the initial raiser makes the call. Boom! Turn. Queen of Hearts, we have nailed it. We've got trips. Flush draw is still out there, so we can continue our betting, trying to get value out of flush draws or other pairs that are not going to give us credit for trips. We get a check from the initial raiser, and because of the flush draw and the other pair possibilities, we're going to make a healthy bet, trying to get some great value. We bet 18,000. Initial raiser thinks for a while. We're hoping, we're praying for the call. There's some chatter going on about marked cards. However, we do not get a call, but we scoop 23,000. Let's freaking go. We take a look and see that we have been dealt the Yak-o'-lanterns. Blinds are currently 1,000, 1,500, 1,500. Folds around the button. He is going to put in the 3-bet of 9,500. He's the chip leader and an aggressive pro that we've played with before. He loves the 3-bet. So based on the strength of our hand and this particular player type, we love this spot. We are going to obviously make the call. We see a flop of the 10 of clubs, 5 of spades, and the 3 of spades. We block flush draws, and we still have an overpair to the board. We love our situation. We're gonna go ahead and check it over to the 3-better. He's gonna put in his standard continuation bet. He makes it 6,000. We're gonna pause for a second, and then we're obviously gonna put in the call. Dealer gets the pot right, gives some change, gives us a turn of the 5 of hearts. Great card for our range. We check, and he checks it back. We see a river of the 7 of diamonds. We now love our spot. We're gonna go ahead and try to get some value, and we make it 16,000, and he insta-mucks. We scoop ourselves a nice pot, and we're back to building chips.
Down to 19 out of 177 in the 50K high roller in UFC. The announcer legend Bruce Buffer is in the money and battling for a bracelet.
We are in the big blind in this hand. Blinds are 1,000, 1,500, 1,500. And we have a middle position raise from a well-known pro named Andrew Moreno. And when it gets to the small blind, who is Landon Tice, he goes into the tank for quite some time before he makes his decision. And he ends up 3-betting to 12,000. Now, we get pretty excited here because we look down at our ace of diamonds and king of clubs, the big slick, the offsuit variety, but an absolute monster hand. And although it's going to be a fairly big raise, we already see that there's 3K out there, plus the raise out of the small blind. There's a decent chunk of money already in the middle, and we'd love to just take it down. So we go ahead, smash our chips in the middle, we go all in, and now we have it back on Andrew Moreno, and he is in the tank, kind of hem-hawing, putting his hands up, shuffling his chips, and then he finally goes ahead and makes the call. Landon Tice Instamucks, and we see the old school news that we are up against the same hand as he has the ace of clubs and the king of diamonds. Dealer does a quick run out, 4 of spades, 3 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, 7 of hearts in the turn, 6 of clubs on the river, and we are going to chop this one up.
You know what they say, Lee? Everyone loves a chop pot.
Woo! Long day, bagging the monster stack, up and down roller coaster. We're gonna put 30 bigs in a bag, come back on Monday, see if we can spin it up one time. We just got to our table. Day 2 of the monster stack. Looking for a deep run. Looking to put some money in my favorite bank, HPNB, Hip Pocket National Bank, one freaking time. Let's go.
Sit on?
Yeah. We're moving from the Paris to the Horseshoe in the monster stack. We got about 20 bigs. This is our 4th move of the tournament. It's kind of the theme today. Pay a blind, get moved. Don't see many hands, but that's all right because we got 20 bigs. We got a dream. We got a shot. Let's go.
Okay, here's the situation. We have the ace of diamonds and the 10 of hearts. We're in the small blind. We are approaching the money bubble, but we really do need the chip up. It's a good spot. We're gonna go ahead and put it all in. Big blind doesn't snap fold. Oh man, he makes the call. We gotta win this one.
God, if you let it in, help!
Flop comes. Yes, we see an ace in the window. We spiked it. Always just flat on the turn. Hold. Yeah, plank on the river. Let's freaking go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You can't keep the 7 deuce down. That's right, dealer. Count it out. Let's go. Double us up.
We are looking as we're on the bubble of the monster stack. Board is showing 1308 remaining, 1306 make the money, so stay tuned. It is official. We are in the money. All right, we are in the money in the monster stack. Now it's time to spin. Keep this train rolling. Let's freaking go. All right, we'll look together. We call. Thank you. All right, GG Monster Stack. 1,082nd place for 3K. On to the next one. Oh, what? You thought this train would stop? No, this is 7 deuce, baby. Let's go. Nice run. We made the money. We didn't get to the final table or fight for the gold bracelet, but anytime you can cash in a World Series event, it's obviously a great thing. Now, tune into the next vlog as we fight for another $1 million in the one and only Millionaire Maker. Spoiler alert, we're getting deep. It's gonna be worth the watch. Do I make the money? Do I make the final table? Do I hoist the gold? Gotta tune in and see. One time!